Hey everybody, Coach Toolshed here, and today I want to talk about something that I think is kind of the elephant in the room right now, something that I'm not really seeing talked about too much, and something that I think can greatly impact the success or failure of Fallout 76, and that is something that is called Red Dead Redemption. And the question I'm asking today is, does Fallout 76 have a Red Dead Redemption problem? And you might be thinking, Coach, what are you talking about? Well, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to answer that question, and then I'm going to give you my take on a situation that I think could be causing problems for Fallout 76 down the line. And so first I'm going to take you guys back to 2013 when Rockstar Games came out with Grand Theft Auto 5. And I'm sure anyone watching this video has to have heard of Grand Theft Auto 5. It is the most successful financial media entertainment piece of anything that anyone has ever seen. It's made more money than Star Wars. It's made more money than any movie you can name, any other game you can name. Reported revenue over $6 billion. So just let that sink in. And so everyone's heard of it. This game has sold, it was reported earlier in this year, it sold over 90 million copies already. So I'm sure by the end of this year, it's going to be well over 100 million by the end of this year, which is nothing to sneeze at. So, something about the launch window for Grand Theft Auto 5, and a lot of people may not remember this. Maybe you do, but some people, this might be slipping the radar. So the game launched on September 17th, 2013. But the thing about the launch was only the single player launched. And they held the multiplayer Grand Theft Auto Online, and that didn't come out till October 1st. Of 2013, which is a full 2 weeks after the release date of the single player game. And so this got me thinking, is Rockstar going to do the same thing with Red Dead Redemption 2? Because let's look at the release date for that game. The release date right now is listed as October 26th, 2018. So let's say they do the same thing they did last time and give everyone 2 full weeks to play the single-player campaign before they open up the inevitable Red Dead Redemption Online. If they wait 2 more weeks, you know where that brings us? Well, that brings us mighty close to the launch date of Fallout 76, which will be, of course, November 14th. So if Rockstar repeats this pattern, what's that going to mean for Fallout 76? Because we don't know. But let's try to be a little bit objective, guys. How many of you, even the most die-hard Bethesda fans, how many of you really think that Fallout 76 is going to launch without some major type of networking bugs or some sort of glitch, sign-in problems? It's something. Who knows what could possibly happen? I'm sure we have some ideas, though, because most people have, at least this generation, played some sort of this online type game with perpetual servers and whatnot, and everyone's going to be online together. And I'm sure most of us have played this sort of game and seen what happens at launch. And it's oftentimes a mess. So, once again, guys, let's try to be even the most diehard of you fans out there. Can we be objective and say that the odds of Bethesda pulling off a clean launch is virtually zero? Like, can we say that? Is that okay? Because I think if we're being honest, you would have to admit that that's just not going to happen. So we have to assume that it's going to be at least a couple days worth of network problems, people not being able to log in. They're going to have to be doing some troubleshooting. It generally lasts a couple days for most companies, even experienced ones, even ones that do these sorts of launches all the time. You're going to see some sort of issues. So, if Fallout 76, once again, taking it with some speculation here, if Fallout 76 launches with some network problems and people have Red Dead Redemption in their hands already, and the online go now, once again, Red Dead 2 could have the same sort of online launch problems that Grand Theft Auto 5 had when it went online. If anyone remembers those, it had a horrible launch. Horrible. One of the worst I've ever seen as far as people not being able to actually play the game. It was awful. There's no two ways about it. But I don't think they were expecting quite as many sales as they saw for Grand Theft Auto 5. So they probably were not expecting the exact crush of people. I'm sure Rockstar will have learned something from the first online launch this generation that they had, and they'll probably have some more robust server support when it comes to Red Dead 2. But once again, back to Fallout 76. What's that going to do if Red Dead Online is launching 2-3 days before the launch of Fallout 76? You're going to have people already invested in that world, and you might think there's not a lot of crossover, but let's not forget, Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas were coming out right about the time, just a year or two before Red Dead came out before. So you're going to have fans that crossed over because of that open world feeling, and then you had Skyrim the year after Red Dead Redemption. So you're going to have Bethesda fans and Red Dead fans with probably a good amount of crossover, I'd have to imagine. And you might bring up a point right now, and this is a good point. You might say, but coach, it's Bethesda, it's Fallout, that's a huge brand. I mean, you think Fallout is scared of Rockstar? And to that I would say, well, everyone should be a little bit scared of Rockstar. I mean, Red Dead is not Grand Theft Auto, I grant you that, but everyone should be a little bit scared of Rockstar. And to drive that point home, let me tell you what two other major franchises have done. Two of the biggest franchises in the fall season. And I'm going to talk about Assassin's Creed and Call of Duty, which are staples every year except for the 1 year that Assassin's Creed decided to take off because Ubisoft came to their senses for 1 year and now they're back to their annualized schedule. But okay. But let's go back to the start of the generation. Let's go back to 2013, and you'll see a pattern emerge here between the two franchises. So Assassin's Creed came out October 29th, and Call of Duty Ghosts came out on November 5th. So you see a little bit of a buffer zone between those windows there. And I'm not going to bore you with all the dates right here, but basically, if you go through 2013 to 2017, what you'll see is Assassin's Creed and Call of Duty always launched within about a week or so of each other. And they always launched, it would be Assassin's Creed the last week of October, and then Call of Duty the first week of November. For this entire generation, except for 1 year, Assassin's Creed flip-flopped. But all the other years of the generation, they follow this pattern. And now this year, both of them are saying, oh, Rockstar's going to be in there? Right in our normal window? Well, we're going to move out of our normal window. And so now Assassin's Creed is launching on October 5th, which is at the start of the month. And once again, they are still keeping the pattern of launching a week apart from Call of Duty. The next Call of Duty game is going to launch October 12th. Still a few weeks ahead of the launch of Red Dead. Those are two of the biggest franchises every single fall for a decade. And Ubisoft and Activision said, nope, get them out of there. Pull them out. It's Rockstar. We can't be in there. But the hubris of Bethesda, and yes, I'm going to use the word, the hubris of Bethesda to say, no, screw it. We're Bethesda. We have Fallout. And like I said, I know Fallout is a major, massive franchise. And I'm sure Fallout 76 is going to sell a bunch of copies. But it's an online game. So you need players. Sales alone is not going to keep the game floating. You need players. And if you are launching that close to Red Dead Redemption 2, and once again, if Rockstar does the same thing they did with Grand Theft Auto Online and launched it 2 weeks after the fact, baby, you're sitting right smack dab at the launch of Fallout 76. So, what do you guys think about that? How do you think that's going to play out? I want to know. I think this could be a major problem for Fallout 76. A major problem. If they don't have that bird off the ground relatively smoothly within 48, 72 hours, I'm telling you, I don't know what they're thinking, because this could hinge on Rockstar. Now, if Rockstar comes out and the multiplayer is available right away, then you're going to have a 2.5 week window before Fallout 76, and it might not be so bad because people will already be in there. But if Rockstar plays that same card, man, Bethesda really would have stepped in it. Really, like, once again, Assassin's Creed said, we're out of here. Call of Duty says, we're out of here. It's Rockstar. Grand Theft Auto still in the top 10 every single month in sales 5 years later. Now their next game's coming out. You tell me that game's not going to sell through the roof? Conservative estimates have it at least at 15 million. And I think that's way too low. And like I said, Fallout 76 is going to sell. I'm sure it's going to sell. But what is that player base going to look like? What are those concurrent numbers going to look like? Oof. So that's all I'm really saying here. That's all this video is really about. Is I think Fallout 76 has a potential to have a major problem with Rockstar Games launching Red Dead 2. And you want to know what? Bethesda knew the date before they set their own date. This was their choice. Because Bethesda, stubborn as always, likes that November launch window. They did it with Fallout 4. They did it with Skyrim. And here they are again, right back in the same window. But, hey, we'll see what happens. So, until next time, this is Coach Toolshed. Ow! Bringing you the truth, no matter how bad it hurts.